Hey everyone, it's DeagleBeagle. Thanks for watching. So, we're looking at all the best, or all the Intimidators, but the best ones, it depends on your team, but I'd say generally Tauros, Fire, Water's the best. And then, and I say that because they're not weak to rock like almost all the other ones are. Crocodile resists it also, and some of these other Pokemon aren't weak to it, but they're bad in general. Like Mastiff is low tier, same with Luxray, and some of these Pokemon aren't even good at all. Staraptor is decent. It's decently good with Scarf. I've had success with it, but it's weak to Rock Slide, and all these Pokemon below it are just bad. So I'd say Crocodile is like medium tier. It's not one of the best Intimidators, but it does have a niche. It is good for outspeeding and killing Goldangos and stuff. It might get better later in the format, but with all its weaknesses and it not hard countering almost any Pokemon in this type of format, I would probably not use it. Even though in the past it's done well with Pelipper. Now, I would say Intimidate is more of a liability a lot of times than an asset, unless you use like Mirror with it or pull it out at the right time. Or like Intimidate is a thing that might help your team, but I wouldn't really rely on it. Like, don't build a team centering around it like you used to with Incineroar. So that's why you've seen little Arcanine usage, Gyarados usage, Salamence usage. All of these Intimidators aren't used very much. The most common Intimidator now is probably Tauros Water, followed by Tauros Fire, because they're probably the best. So let's just look at them really quick. Just those two, I think. Lycanroc Tar, by the way, is the main thing you should focus on. I would use Wave Crash, Aqua Jet, Raging Bull. That is 3 water moves though, but I would still use 3 water moves. Raging Bull is good versus screens and it doesn't recoil like Wave Crash. And I would use either Mirror Herb with max speed or use a slower one with Assault Vest. So you could use something that's probably going to outspeed their Annihilate. The speed you might want to change depending on what speed you think they use. I mean, you could even use Jolly to ensure you outspeed, but almost no Annihilate's going to be like max speed anyways. You might even be able to take some speed out. And then if you're not using that, I would usually recommend Assault Vest because it has Intimidate, and then Assault Vest keeps it alive on the special side. If you're using Assault Vest, I think I didn't even use like I guess I don't need to max HP because we do have Assault Vest, but you still might want to for the physical attacks. But if you're not really dying from physical attacks and more from special, then I would probably raise the special. But I think there's so many physical Pokemon out there that you might want it even with Intimidate. And then what's the other one? Tauros Fire is pretty good too. I don't recommend regular Tauros because it doesn't have a second stab move, and I just feel like offensively it's just a lot worse. Defensively it's alright, but you have less resistances as well, even though you have less weaknesses. But I just prefer a dual typing Pokemon in general, unless they're like used as a support Pokemon like Mousehold. Now, for this Pokemon, I prefer Choice Band. I suppose you could use Choice Band with Tauros Water as well, but I don't know. I mean maybe. I just feel like Tauros Fire should be used a little bit differently since it doesn't resist Rock Slide is neutral to it. I just like hitting things really hard with it with Raging Bull and whatnot because I believe you might want the extra attack to make sure you kill Goldangos and stuff with it, even though it does have a similar move set. Flare Blitz. And you can't use a fire move with it. I wish it would at least have quick attack for priority. Flame Charge? Maybe, if you want to outspeed something. But I would probably use... What the heck did I use with it? I think I used Earthquake with... Oh, you probably want Double Kick for the Meowscarada. If you don't need you don't need a counter for Meowscarada though, use Earthquake. But personally, I might want Double Kick with it, because you're gonna... Oh, and by the way, either fighting or fire, either one. So it just depends on what you want to do. But either one would be... I would say I prefer fire, because versus Annihilate, you can choice band Flare Blitz with the Tera Fire and kill it normally. And that's just really good. So I prefer fire. And you also get rid of your fighting types. So if they're trying to Dazzling Gleam or Hyper Voice or whatever, you take less damage. So thanks for watching.